Hello? 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 Hi, Miss Maya. How you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Pretty good, thank you. How things going this week?
Everything's going good.
Good, good. It's finally Friday.
Huh?
It's finally Friday.
Yeah.
Been a long week.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm coming. Getting the stuff off.
Oh no, I'm fine. You take your time. I'm just glad we connected. Always good to see you.
You too. Hi, Miss Dupree.
Uh-oh.
Good morning. Oh, okay. You're giving me live.
Uh-oh. Hey! Good morning, Mommy. Hello? Miss Lyla. Hey, Mom. Got a baby already. She's looking pretty today. Somebody combed her hair. That was nice.
Yeah.
I don't know who did it, but it was nice of them to do it because I know you guys don't have hairdressers coming in.
No, we don't.
Yeah. Well, hello, Mommy. There, you looking up to see me. It's that big head boy of yours, Jimmy. Yay! It's me, Jimmy. How you doing? You looking good? You're looking. Your eyes are just as bright and pretty. I see you. You got your baby with you. How you feeling? You feeling good today? You look good. You look like you're well rested. Yeah. You look like you're rested today. You got some rest. It was raining, but the sun has come out a little bit. So you're looking good, Mom. I missed you this week. I was thinking about you. It's always good to see you. Did you see Tootie this week? And Diane and Sharon and Marshall and Neil and Rachel and Jason. Everybody see this week? So it's my turn. It's Friday. I got you all by myself. And I like it this way. It's good to see you. It's good to see you smiling. That's a big, cute baby. That's a big baby. Yeah. A big, pretty baby. He's laughing too. Where's Mr. Oh, okay. See, I can look in and you can see me better. It's me, Big Head Jimmy. Yeah. There you go. It's good to see you smiling, Mom. It really is always good. I see you smiling. I had a whole list of things I was going to talk about last week. But you were asleep when I saw you last Friday. You had the baby. You must have been pretty tired. You were sleeping for a while. So I didn't wake you up. I just sat with you for a little while, then I went on home. So I was going to ask you if you remember Miss Hazel. Remember you had a friend and you went to school with Miss Hazel? She used to come by the house sometimes. She was a big light-skinned woman. And she used to bring you cheesecake. I don't know what it was about her and cheesecake, but every time she came, she'd give you a slice of cheesecake. And we would always beg you for something. But none of us, we didn't like it that much. But it was good though. I like it now, but I didn't like it when I was little. There's a whole lot of things I didn't like when I was little. Some things I still don't like. I bet you don't remember how much I used to hate pickles. I never had a pickle. I hate pickles. So I never ate pickles. But I used to didn't eat mustard. I didn't eat ketchup. I didn't eat mayonnaise. I was a mess for a little bit. But I ate tuna fish and I ate egg salad, but I wouldn't eat. You couldn't put mayonnaise on my sandwich. So it took a long time before I could eat mayonnaise. I was probably a grown man before I ate mayonnaise. And mustard and ketchup, I ate fairly early because I used to get those hot dogs from Bel Air Market, and used to get chili dogs from North, the market up on Minor Street, Northeast Market. I used to go by almost every day sometimes in the evening after we had dinner and have a little bit of time. I'd go up there and get a whole bunch of 12 or 14 or 15 hot dogs and bring them back. So those were the days. Hot dogs were cheap back then. And hamburgers, a hamburger might have cost a little tavern. They were 15 cents at the little tavern right up the street. I used to remember going up there for you. We would get used to like to get coconut custard pie. So I would go up there and get a coconut custard pie and a little teeny can of Donald Duck orange juice. I bet you don't remember. Do you remember that? You used to send me up there. I would go get a slice of coconut custard pie. And then I remember you used to like, when you had a headache, I would go get you BCs and stand backs. So some days I have to go to the store and get a pack of BCs, or if they didn't have BCs, get stand backs. So I remember all that stuff. I never got any of that stuff. I went to the store so many times. I must have been to the store 100 times a month when I was little. So I knew you used to drink Wilkins coffee. Wilkins coffee used to cost 5 cents a pack. So I would go to the store and I might have a whole list of things to get. But in that list would be a pack of Wilkins coffee. And I'd bring it back home to your head, and then I would beg you for some of it. So after you mix it up, you mix some cream and sugar in it, and you put a little teeny bit in the sauce and let me drink it. So the good news is I never developed a habit for coffee. I like the way coffee smells, but I really don't drink coffee. If I have to make a cup of coffee, I'd have so much cream and sugar in it, it would taste like candy. So I never did pick up the habit. So I don't know if anybody else got a coffee habit, but I don't have a coffee habit. But I love the way it smells. I do like the smell of coffee, but I don't need to drink it at all. And I remember that one time you wanted to try to smoke cigarettes. So I bet you don't remember they were called Old Gold. You would send me to the store and get you a pack of Old Gold cigarettes. And you never did smoke them. I mean, you just puffed on them, but you never got addicted to them. Like the rest of us got hooked on cigarettes when we grew up. You didn't get hooked on those cigarettes. But you had me buy the packs of Old Gold. So I would get a pack of Old Gold. And then nobody else smoked them, but Dad smoked Salem's. And I think Duet and Braxton, they probably smoked Winston's. And Uncle Clifton used to make his own cigarettes. He used to have that bugle tobacco in the blue bag. He had that little orange cigarette machine. He would make cigarettes. So he made his own. I guess he learned how to do that while he was in jail. But we'd make cigarettes. He'd make his own cigarettes. Now, I can't remember what Dad's sisters smoked, because all of them smoked. At that was the time. Everybody smoked. I think you were the only adult that wasn't smoking, but it was a good thing you didn't smoke, because it's not good for you. And so I smoked for a little while. I think the first time you probably saw me smoke was the day y'all came up to Cape May, New Jersey, when I was graduating from boot camp. And y'all brought William with you. And we was in the back seat. And I really had the cigarette habit by then, so I had to ask, I think William or somebody to give me a cigarette. And that's when I just started smoking. Because I was already, in my mind, a grown man. So, but I never really smoked much around y'all. I always had too much respect. But I had to get a cigarette that day because it was a pretty stressful day. And I was glad to be coming home because I'd been up there for 10 weeks in boot camp. I remember I got real skinny because they had me running around so much. I lost a whole bunch of weight. And I got all my hair cut off and all that stuff. But I left home, I was a little fat boy. When I came home, I was a skinny boy. But that was a good day. Yeah. Look at you. I'm glad that you're sitting up today. And I haven't heard Miss Betty, but I know she must be doing okay. Miss Carter, that's your roommate. She's a nice lady. He all be laughing all day long. So she must be asleep right now, because if she was up, she would be talking. Yeah. So I was thinking about Miss Thelma and her daughter Eunice. When we lived on Eden Street, we lived 1006. Raymond lived 1004. Winston lived 1008 on the other side of us. And then down on the corner was Miss Thelma and her daughter Eunice. And they lived, I think, when they lived on the second floor or something. But that's the woman who went to school with you. She was your good friend from school, and she had a daughter named Eunice. If I remember that. And I used to think something was wrong. I thought the boy Winston was crippled because of the way he used to walk. But then I found out, if you remember, Ray and Pee Wee lived next door to us on the other side. The girl's name was Ray. And I finally ran into Ray. I was probably in my 30s or 40 when I ran into her. And she was living on Central Avenue. And I told her I remembered how, because I remember when one day I asked her how old she was. We were sitting on the front steps. I never forget it. She said, I'm 12 years old. And at the time, I would have been 3 years old. So when I asked her how old she was, when I saw her, she was 9 years older than me. And so all that time, my memory was right. I remembered correctly. But I didn't remember everything correctly because I said, well, I knew we lived next door to the other side. There was a crippled boy named Winston. She said Winston wasn't crippled. Winston was gay. That's why he walked like that. I thought he was crippled. And she said, no, Winston wasn't crippled. Winston was gay. So, and he became a famous artist. So I don't know if he's an art teacher or something. But anyway, I seem to remember him walking funny, and I thought in my mind that must have meant he was crippled. Because there was a lot of people who was crippled back then. You had all those people that had rickets. Remember people had rickets back then, and bow-legged real bad. Or they had polio and they had braces. You saw all these people walking with braces. It was a mess back in those days, wasn't it, Mom? You would be walking down the street and you see somebody have a black patch over their eye. They only have one eye, or they have a hook on their hand. They only have one hand. It was a lot of that. You still see it, but you don't see it as much as you used to see it back then. And you used to see a lot of children like that back then. You don't see so many children. I haven't seen children with braces. I mean, we saw somebody with braces almost every day when we were kids, but you don't see like that much. And I remember when people had wooden legs. They didn't have legs that looked like real legs. They had big pieces of wood for legs. Remember some of those? There was a little girl living in our neighborhood that had a wooden leg. It was almost red. They didn't even paint it to match her skin. And you remember back then, all the little girls wore skirts. They couldn't wear pants to school. So if somebody had an artificial leg or something, everybody knew it. Yeah. So a lot of things have changed though. That virus is still pretty bad. It still got us. We can't. In some places, they telling people to stay in the house, so we still have to stay in the house right now. But it's going to get better, you know. And right now, you are in a place where they do everything they can to make sure you stay safe. And so there's good people there. But we just have to hold on a little bit longer, maybe soon. But right now, it's November the 13th. Today is Friday the 13th already. So Christmas will be here before you know it. Yeah, that was, and so a lot of people are not going to be able to come outside this year because of this virus. So hopefully it won't be too much longer. Not too much longer. And soon we'll be able to come back out. But in the meantime, it's nice. Your room looks nice. It always looks clean. And you look nice today. That's a very pretty top you got on. I look at your eyes. It's just so bright and pretty. Look at you. Yeah. And so I'm just trying to think of who else I had. I had this list. I was going down the list. So the last time I told you, we already talked about Miss Ferguson, who was your school teacher on Drew Hill Avenue. You don't think I remember that, do you? Yeah, I remember Miss Ferguson. I tried to go to her school. She was teaching at 135, which was right down the street from 101. But when I walked down there, I was scared to go in the building, so I didn't go in the building. But she was still teaching when I was going to school. But we would still see her. The good thing was we got to see her when we would go down, coming from Drew Hill Park. She lived on Drew Hill Avenue in one of those big houses. And sometimes she would be sitting out on the front, and we would pull over, and she would come over to the car. So it was always good to see her, and she remembers you. You must have been a good student, because she remembers you. Now, I was remember my teacher, Miss Dixon. she always remembered me because I was a bad student. Remember one day she sent me to the principal's office. I don't know what I was doing, but as I was walking down the hall, the bell went off at 3 o'clock. So rather than go to Mr. Williams' office, I ran home. And when I was coming home, you and Dad had been out and had went to Northeast Market and bought all this food from the market, hot dogs and subs and all these sandwiches. So when I came in the house, we had all this food we was eating, and then it started raining and it was pouring down rain and lightning and thundering, and all of a sudden you hear bam, 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 bam on the door. And Dad opened the door and Miss Dixon was standing at our door soaking wet. And she was mad. She came in the house, where is he? Where is he? I thought I had gotten away. Y'all made me go right outside, and she dragged me right down the street, 2 blocks down the street, all the way back at that school. Told me, you better not ever leave the school when I tell you to go to the principal's office. Mr. Williams was waiting for me. And back then, he had a reputation for beating the kids. So all the kids were scared because he had a big paddle in his office. So I knew I'm going to get ready to get a beating. And he was sitting in his office. I had to sit outside his office in the chair, so I'm sitting up there. By the time he came out, I started crying as soon as he came out. And he never did beat me. He just told me don't do that no more. But he made it. He scared me to death, like he was gonna kill me before he did it. Then he told me to go on home. So when I got home, y'all told me don't ever do it no more too. But I thought I was getting away with something. I was walking down the hall, and the bell, 3 o'clock bell went off. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like, oh boy, I can go home now. Too late. I'm going home. Because I figured I was gonna get a beating for going to his office. Yeah, but I got caught. So, but I talked to Miss Dixon a few times after I got older, and she never forgot me. She always remembered me getting a messing up because she said she had just gone to the beauty parlor, and I messed her hair. She had to come out there to get me, but she came up the house. She was banging on the door. She was marching. She went, "Where is he?" She was looking around. I'm sitting there with a hot dog in my hand. She said, "No, you coming with me. We're going back to school." And Dad said, "You better go on. You going? That's right. You're going back to school with her." And y'all sent me right on back down. Yeah. But then your gym teacher's name was Miss Harvey, and Miss Harvey was my gym teacher for a little while. So on the days that we had gym, I was always trying to get Miss Harvey to take me home so maybe you could see her. And she would take me home, but she would drop me off in the bus stop. So she never did. I never did. I was trying to get y'all to reconnect, but never did work out that way. But Miss Harvey was my gym teacher probably till I was about in the 3rd grade. And then she went on. I mean, she may have retired or something because she was pretty old to be a gym teacher. But she had been your gym teacher. And she ended up being my gym teacher. That's something. So, yeah. So I had a good time. That 101 was a good time for me. I think about when you would walk me to school in the morning and then have to run back home. I don't even know how you were able to do that because when you were walking me to school, we had 4 or 5 other children still at home. So you had to run back to the house real quick and get them, then sneak back out the house and come pick me up when I was in kindergarten because I didn't go to school all day long. So it was a mess. Probably the best thing that could have happened was when we finally got to the point where some of the other kids were going to school, you know, sent 2 or 3 of us off at a time. And there wouldn't be as many kids at home to have to deal with. But every day we came home, you always had a nice lunch waiting for us. We had soup and sandwiches almost every day. I remember because I went to the store, I know what we got. So you would get bologna and cheese, you would get barbecue loaf, and you used to get something called Hollywood loaf. I don't know if you remember Hollywood loaf, but I've always looked for it. I'd never see it any place. But it used to be a meat called Hollywood loaf, and sometimes you would get some salami. Yep, and we always had soup, and we always had sandwiches, and we always had some kind of candy or sweets at some point every day. And I missed those days. When we come back home, and when I got to junior high school, I couldn't come home for lunch anymore, so I had to eat in the cafeteria. I never really liked that. And by the time I got in senior high school, I was going to stop somewhere. We could leave the building, sneak out the building lunchtime. So I'd go to some shop and buy my own lunch. I didn't eat cafeteria food too much. But I always liked the home cooked meal. It sounds like I hear Denise coming in, so she might come in and holler at you for a second. She went to the store this morning. I'm talking to Mom, honey. She can't hear me. Yeah, those were the days. Then when we got to senior high school, we would save our lunch money, and I would meet Sharon. I would leave City and go to Lake Clifton and get Sharon. Then we would catch the bus home, but we wouldn't come home. We would go up to Northeast Market and go to a place called Sadie's, or we would go to Tino's and get a cold cut sub. Me and her every day we sat and we ate a sub and we would talk, and then we would go and come on home. So we would already have eaten something. By the time we got home, we'd already had a sub. But I wouldn't eat lunch. I would wait. I'd rather get that sub at the end of the day because it was kind of nice. And we would go and Tino's. Hey, honey, I'm talking to Mom. So, all right, so you come in real quick and say hi. So she's up, huh? Oh, okay. Well, you don't want to say that so loud. It's being recorded. You know that, right? Look at Mom. Just looking today. You really paid a lot of attention today. Yeah. So that's good. Hold on. Niecy's coming. She's getting ready to come in here and holler at you real fast.
You're not going to get off, are you?
No, but I don't know how long.
I'm in a minute because I want them to jump in the car.
All right.
I got food.
Ain't nobody gonna jump in. Nothing gonna do. Got the car open. She's scared something gonna jump in the car like a bear or an elephant's gonna jump in the car. And see his mom just laughing today. This is good. I'm just trying to bring back some old times. Here comes Lisa.
Mom, how you look pretty today? Hi. How you doing? Huh? How you doing today?
Yeah. She's been laughing all day. There's
And
Lisa.
the baby.
Yeah.
You got the pretty baby. How you doing?
She looks just as bright eyes, always clear.
Yeah.
Skin's clear. Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I get some food at the car.
See?
I see.
She got to laugh like
Yeah, I got your sweet son with me. He's so sweet. It's the best child you have right here. This one right here. Jimmy Dupree Jr. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Uh-huh. I'll be right back.
I probably gave her the most trouble. No, I didn't give her the most trouble. Yeah. You got somebody came in just now? I thought I saw the curtain move. I thought maybe it just might be the wind. It's not Miss Betty. It could be, though. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what else I'm going to say. I'm just trying to think. We talked about school. We talked about Miss Thelma was your friend. Then there was a woman whose daughter lived on Madison Street. She lived on Chapel Street up there at the corner of Madison and Chapel. Because she had TB and she used to drink. I'm trying to think of that. And she was your friend for a long time. Because she was your friend when we lived on Eden Street. And she was your friend. I want to say Miss Ethel, but I'm not sure if that's right. Because Miss Ethel, there was an Ethel on I Love Lucy, and I don't want to get it confused. But she was there. Then I was thinking about Uncle Jewett, and he had a girlfriend named Martha Lee Boozer. And they lived down the street from us on Washington Street for a minute, and he was married to Vernell Pittman. Remember the Pittmans on Ashton Avenue and Wolf Street? Her father had the Pittmans barbershop. And you go in there, they had big deer heads on the wall and spittoons of people spitting on the floor. And it was all these old men. It was one of those barbershops that wasn't nothing but real old people in there. And that was Pittman's barbershop. I hate going in there. So we would go down to Blackwell's, all the way down on Gay Street. And that'd be a long walk. Sometimes me and Dad would walk. It'd be just me and him. Walk all the way down Gay Street, get a haircut. Then on the way back, I pretend like I was too tired to walk. He put me on his shoulders and carried me home. I remember that just like yesterday. Yeah, old Pittman's Barbershop, Blackwell's Barbershop. I'm trying to think of other stores. Remember Mr. Max had the store up at the corner store? And it was a little Jewish couple. He was a butcher, and sometimes he would cheat you. Like you ask for a pound of meat, you get like 3/4 of a pound of meat. And sometimes some of his stuff wouldn't be fresh. Yeah. That was something that would, a treat would be to go up to the little tavern and buy a sandwich. The hamburger was 15 cents, but that was a big deal. If we had 15 cent Sundays, we could buy a bag full of candy, and all of us had candy. And we'd all go crazy after that sugar would hit us. We'd jump up and down like we was nuts. Yeah, that was a damn daily treat. If we was good, you'd send me to the store with some change, and I'd go buy some candy. Then we'd act up. But we didn't know it was the sugar making us act up. But we would go to get some candy. It might be, in some days we'd get 2 for penny cookies. You might say get 10 cents worth of cookies and 10 cents worth of candy. And you had candy called kits. And kits came like 4 or 5 little pieces in a pack and only cost you a penny. So you got like 5 pieces of candy for a penny. So you could buy 5 packs of kits and all of us would have candy. It was amazing for 5 cents. Yeah. When you used to get it, what got something extra, you would get an almond joy because you like the almond joys. You know the almond joy candy bars. So I would get you an almond joy or Mr. Good bar. You like Mr. Good bars. And then Tasty Cake. You used to like Tasty Cake chocolate cupcakes, but I used to like Tasty Cake. And you like the Tasty Cake peanut butter, the candy cakes. But I used to like the butterscotch crimpets. I used to like the pie. But I knew all the candy back then. Definitely. Candy bars only cost a nickel. A bag of Cracker Jack was expensive because that was 10 cents. But they used to give out really nice gifts back then. You could get a toy that was a real toy. You could buy a pack of Cracker Jacks now. They give you a picture of a toy. You don't get a real toy. You get a little picture that look like a postage stamp. And I don't know what it's supposed to be, a sticker or something. Like, what is that? That's no gift for no child. Give somebody a piece of paper so they can stick something on something. But back in the day, you could open a box of Cracker Jacks. There might be a whistle in there, or a ring, or all kinds of little knick-knacky toys that they made back then. And they were cheap, but I mean, it was something nice compared to what you get nothing now. And sometimes you would get nice things inside the cereal boxes. And then sometimes you would get nice things inside the detergent boxes. Remember they used to give away towels? You like opening the box of soap powder, and in that soap powder might be a dish towel or might be a hand towel. Be folded up inside. They gave out nice gifts because you spend your money. Now you get nothing, and you get a smaller package. Things with boxes of cereal used to be big. Boxes of detergent used to be big, so you could put a towel inside the box of detergent. It would fit, and it would still be plenty of room for soap powder. And now you get a little teeny box and there'll be nothing in it. They just give it to you. Yeah. So then remember. I think that was about Brentwood Avenue. And next door, Uncle Gene's family lived next door to us. I remember how I used to be so scared of Florence. Remember Florence? And Gene's sister's name was Ruth, and Ruth and Aunt Pearl were good friends. But Florence used to scare me to death. I didn't know what to think of Florence because she had something was wrong. And I just didn't know when you're a child, you just don't know what. And people have little problems. And she had some birth defects, so she had her hands like fully developed or something, and that's all it would take for me. And then she, when I was here, I want to run. I just admit it was just something to run from, not thinking she was a real person. I remember when I finally saw her as an adult was that when when Angie got married, when Pearl's daughter Angie got married, and I got a chance to see her again. The first thing that surprised me was how tiny she was.
Hello.
Oh, is it that time already?
Yeah.
Well,
Are you Jimmy?
yeah. Oh, Miss Billy, how you doing?
Jimmy,
Yes, ma'am.
hi.
How are you
How you
today?
doing?
Pretty good in yourself?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Hi. I see that beautiful smile.
And that she's been smiling all day today. I've been really lucky to get a chance to see her in a good mood and she's happy. Last week she was in bed all day.
I know. This is my friend, Miss Dupree. Right? Look at that beautiful smile.
Isn't that something? You have somebody with you?
Do I?
Yes.
No, just me.
Oh,
just me and Miss Dupree.
Oh, okay. And she's been really attentive. She looked at me almost the whole time today.
Isn't that wonderful?
It sure is when I have her attention like that, and every now and then she was laughing at some of the things I was saying.
Oh.
And what I do is I just relive my the old days with her.
Right.
Because
right.
I can talk for days
good.
about things, and so maybe some of it was I throw out names because by being the oldest child, I knew a lot of her friends by name.
Right.
And then I had the chores of running to the grocery store. Back in the days when you would go to the corner store for groceries, little things
right,
like that.
Exactly.
So I would know she liked Wilkins coffee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I would know little things that I knew she liked Almond Joy candy bars. Because those are the little things I remember when I'd have a little list of things to get. Don't forget to get me an Almond Joy, and I'd go, yes, Or get my little my Wilkins coffee came in little packs.
Oh, really?
Little individual packs. So some days, if she ran out of coffee, it was a quick run up the street and get me a 5-cent pack of Wilkins coffee.
Oh my God!
So I'd run.
Say goodbye.
Yeah. So mommy, it's time to go. See you smiling. Sorry.
Jimmy, nice talking to you.
It's good. Oh, it's good to see you. It's always good when you stick your head around so I can see you.
Thank you.
There you go. It's good to see you. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
I love you, mommy.
Bye.
And I'll see you in a couple of days. Okay. Love you. Just keep smiling. All right. Take care.
See you later, Mr. Craig.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful smile.